The PDF for this lesson is available. Check the description for the link. Number 1. Spill over. Did you hear about what happened in New Orleans? A man drove his car into a crowd of people. Some died. 2025 doesn't look like it's off to a great start. Yeah, a lot of craziness from 2024 is spilling over into 2025. The craziness is spilling over into 2025. To overflow, to affect another situation. The conflict spilled over into neighboring countries. Her personal issues spilled over into her work life. Number 2, piss off. The story between Trump and Elon is going to be a major thing in 2025. Yeah, there are a lot of reports about it already. It's because Elon said something that pissed off a lot of people. Their new policies might piss off a lot of people. To make someone angry or upset. This is a very impolite but casual term. The increased taxes pissed off many residents. She was pissed off when her ideas weren't considered. Number 3, shake up. The world is changing fast. You're right. The new year will be no different. Artificial intelligence is what scares me the most. Me too. I think AI is going to continue to shake things up. AI is going to continue to shake things up. To cause significant change or disruption. The company's new CEO shook up its entire structure. The announcement shook up the industry. Number 4, tune in and tune out. The news has been so overwhelming. I can't stand it. I can't stand it either. A lot of people tuned out during the holidays. Yeah, but they're eventually going to tune back in. A lot of stuff is going to happen. I've started tuning out the news lately. To ignore or stop paying attention to something. A lot of people will tune back in. To start to watch or listen to something. He tuned out the negativity and focused on his goals. Millions tuned in to watch the live event. Number 5, stay out. The world is changing a lot. Right, 2024 was a monumental year for politics. Well, I don't care what happens as long as the government stays out of my business. The government needs to stay out of my business. To avoid becoming involved in something. She stayed out of the argument to avoid drama. They were told to stay out of restricted areas. Number 6, tone down. So why are you staying out of politics? I just don't like anything going on. Both sides need to tone it down. It's too much chaos. I can agree with you on that one. People need to tone down the rhetoric. To make something less intense or extreme. He toned down his criticism to avoid offending anyone. The campaign toned down its rhetoric after the backlash. Number 7. Pull off. I know you don't like politics, but do you think Trump will be able to achieve everything he wants? It'll be hard. He made a lot of promises. I'm not sure if he can pull it off. Only time will tell. I'm not sure if Trump can pull it off. To succeed in doing something difficult. They pulled off the event despite all the challenges. She pulled off an impressive win in the competition. Number 8. Blurt out. Did you see what Biden did? No. What happened? He was giving a speech, and he blurted out the word pause while reading the teleprompter. He wasn't supposed to say that. Joe Biden blurted out the speech instructions while reading the teleprompter. To say something suddenly and without thinking. She blurted out the surprise before anyone could stop her. He accidentally blurted out his true feelings during the argument. Number 9. Drag into. Trump threatened to take the Panama Canal. Do you think he really means it? I don't know, but I don't want to get dragged into another conflict. We should focus on solving problems at home first. I hope we don't get dragged into another conflict. To involve someone in something they don't want to be a part of. He was dragged into a debate he wasn't prepared for. The country was dragged into a war it didn't start. Number 10. Round up. What's going to happen to all of the migrants? Again, I really have no idea. The campaign promise was to round them up and deport them. We'll find out soon. The authorities are planning to round up migrants. To gather or collect people or animals. The police rounded up suspects after the robbery. Farmers rounded up the cattle before the storm. Number 11. Hype up. Do you think Apple Intelligence is going to improve this year? I hope so, because so far it's really underwhelming. Apple was hyping it up so much last year. I really hope it gets better. Apple was hyping up their new features last year. To exaggerate or create excitement about something. They hyped up the product launch for months. The event was hyped up as the biggest of the year. Number 12. Roll out. So many phones have new features. It's important to innovate. I can't believe how slow Apple is, though. They're taking an unusually long time to roll out the new Siri. When will Apple roll out the new Siri? To introduce or launch something new. The company rolled out its latest smartphone last month. They're rolling out a new feature in the app next week. Number 13, die down. What do you think of the Cybertruck, by the way? It's bizarre. It's too big and feels really unnecessary. Plus, I think it's really ugly. Yeah, it was really hyped up last year, but that hype has died down a lot. The excitement is starting to die down, to decrease in intensity or become less noticeable. The noise from the party died down after midnight. The hype for the product eventually died down. Number 14, take over. Artificial intelligence is getting smarter and smarter. Will this be the year it takes over? Not entirely, but it's threatening more industries. It's scary. Do you think AI will take over in 2025? To gain control or become dominant. Automation is taking over many manual jobs. A new leader took over after the resignation. Number 15, bank on. Okay, so what's your opinion on cryptocurrency? Will Bitcoin replace the dollar? It's hard to say, but I wouldn't bank on it. You're right, crypto is ridiculous. The dollar isn't going anywhere. I wouldn't bank on Bitcoin replacing the dollar. To expect or depend on something to happen with confidence. He's banking on a promotion to cover his expenses. They're banking on the new product to increase their revenue. Number 16, crash down. So, what is your final prediction for 2025? I think everything will come crashing down. Wow, take a chill pill. It's not so bad. Cheer up and let's be a little more optimistic. The entire system could come crashing down, to collapse or fail suddenly. Their plans came crashing down when the funding stopped. Everything is going to come crashing down if the economy fails. Number 17, branch out. So, what about your channel? Do you only teach phrasal verbs, or do you have other plans for the new year? I'm always planning something new. I'd love to branch out and make some grammar videos. Good idea, but mastering phrasal verbs can make a student impressively fluent. I'd like to branch out and make some grammar videos. To expand into new areas or activities. The company branched out into online sales during the pandemic. She's branching out by learning new skills in her field. Number 18, plan out. So, what are your plans for 2025? Well, first, I want to step back and let go of any negativity. I'd like to brush up on everything I learned last year, but also build on those skills. I'm happy with my job, but I'd like to take on some new challenges and cut out distractions so I can be more productive. Maybe I'll improve my relationships too and reach out to some old friends. It would be nice to catch up with them over a cup of coffee or something. I'd also like to set aside more time for myself. I'd like to get into some new hobbies like cooking or art. Maybe I'll be able to pick up a new skill or even a new language. I'd like to start working out too. I'm putting on weight, so I should cut down on my sugar intake and slim down. I'd love to work off this holiday food and tone up my muscles a bit. It's going to be tough to fit all of this into my schedule, but if I can manage my time correctly, I'll be able to follow through with all of these plans. I can sort out my schedule later. It's already January 2nd, and I don't want to put this off any longer. If I set my mind to it, nothing can hold me back this year. Wow, did you plan all of that out for 2025? That's incredible. Did you plan all of that out? To organize or arrange details in advance. They planned out the entire event to ensure it ran smoothly. She likes to plan out her week every Sunday to stay organized. Quiz time! Pause the video for each question. I don't want to be what a new conflict this year. Dragged into, tuned into, dragged into. I don't want to be dragged into a new conflict this year. An announcement of a major breakthrough in AI is expected to what the tech industry? Hype up, shake up, shake up. An announcement of a major breakthrough in AI is expected to shake up the tech industry. Maybe it's best to what of political debates and focus on your mental health. Stay out, branch out. Stay out. Maybe it's best to stay out of political debates and focus on your mental health. The police were instructed to what all of the criminals? Round up, blurt out. Round up. The police were instructed to round up all of the criminals. The protests in one city what into the neighboring suburbs? Crashed down, spilled over. Spilled over. The protests in one city spilled over into the neighboring suburbs.